Welcome to my presentation on brand equity, brand identity, and audit and managing a brand portfolio. Hello, my name is Paul. What is brand equity? What is brand identity, or sometimes known as brand personality? What is a brand portfolio audit? And what does it mean by brand managing? These are some of the things we'll explore in tonight's presentation. The definition of brand equity. Brand equity is a set of brand assets and liabilities linked to a brand name and symbol, which add to or subtract from the value provided by a product or service. That definition is provided to us by David Acker. There is a second definition taken from a textbook called Marketing the Core, 4th edition by Roger Caron. And basically what it says is that brand equity is a concept that gives brand name importance to a company as well as added value beyond the functional benefits it provides. I had a short video which was a little less than 2 minutes, but I still haven't been able to incorporate it in my recording through Screencast-O-Matic so that I could show you guys, but it's listed at the end of the presentation in my sources. So if you want to take 2 minutes to watch a little animated video on the definition of brand equity. Next, we get into creating brand equity. How is brand equity created? It doesn't just happen. The first step is to develop positive brand awareness and an association in the minds of consumers to give the brand an identity with a product, class, or need. For example, Gatorade did this in a sports drink. Kleenex achieved it with facial tissue. Second, a marketer must establish a brand's meaning in the minds of consumers. For example, what does a brand stand for? Nike accomplished this through 2 dimensions, a functional performance-related dimension and an abstract imagery-related dimension. The third step is to elicit the proper consumer responses to a brand's identity and meaning. How do consumers think and feel about a brand? Michelin is thought of as credible and a superior quality tire, but consumers acknowledge a secure and warm feeling of security when they use their tires. And fourth, the fourth step is to create a consumer brand connection, which becomes evident in loyalty, such as with companies like Harley-Davidson, Apple, and eBay. There's a loyalty to these companies. Next, we get into added value to a brand name. Brand equity here is represented by a premium a consumer will pay for one brand over another. Which brand would you buy and why? This next part of the presentation is about valuing brand equity. This refers to the financial benefits and buying and selling brands by other companies at either a profit or, in some cases, a loss. Here, Triarch did well by purchasing Snapple from Quaker Oats for $300 million, and then 3 years later, reselling it to Cadbury for $900 million. Brand equity return. In this case, it was $600 million. Now we get into brand identities and brand personalities. I describe the connection in consumers' minds between a brand name and personality to what the customer feels. Research shows that consumers often assign personality traits to products, whether it's a traditional, a romantic, a rugged, a sophisticated, or a rebellious trait. For example, Coca-Cola, the all-American and real thing. Pepsi, the young and exciting new generation. Dr. Pepper, non-conforming and unique. We are who we are. Then there are the mascot brand characters such as Ronald McDonald, Mr. Peanut, and all the cereal brand characters that create an energizer effect and which add to brand identity and the personality. Now I talk a little bit about a brand portfolio audit and managing. Every marketer really needs to know this. For the person who wants to work in brand/product marketing, this will be critical. The word audit is mostly used in finance and accounting, but in the marketing context, it can mean the difference between pulling out the weeds of a brand and planting the good seeds for the brand so that it can be successful. And lastly, managing the brand portfolio. Marketing can be very complex. Managing a brand portfolio is no exception. It requires analysis, decision-making, information on markets every day, brand knowledge, knowledge on competitors, a consumer mindset and consumer behavior, and of course, an excellent company CEO. Again, there's a YouTube video by Steve Jobs on what I felt was his way of defining how to manage his company's brand portfolio. And there's the listing there. And I thought it was really, really good because I wasn't a big fan of Steve Jobs back when he was still alive, but sometimes we change our minds on things, and I think he was a very fascinating person, and in this case he gave us a real good definition of how to manage his company's brand. And that concludes my presentation for tonight. Thank you very much.